Hey friend, it's Jayma here. I'm going to do a double page scrapbook layout today, documenting these photos from Cancun, Mexico. And how perfect is this paper? This is the lovely garden paper, and sadly it is now retired, but the blue cushions and my pink shirt, I just couldn't not use it. I decided to use these 4 patterns right here. I love the colors of them. There's 2 more subtle patterns and 2 very colorful floral patterns. There's also a lot of black in my photo, so that black's gonna work well. I was toying with pulling in that white background paper, but I'm pretty sure I'm gonna use white backgrounds on my layout, so you can see that here. So I've got everything cut down according to the sketch. This was a sketch from the Creative Design Team Volume 4 sketchbook, and I love this design with the strips on it. It's something that I've done quite a few times before. This was actually one of the sketches I contributed because it allows you to use so many different patterns, and because you're matting the photos together with a double mat, you can get away sometimes with some busier papers like I've done here. So I really enjoyed how this came together. So I'm showing you here that I inked around the edges of all of the patterned papers. So this is the first one that I've done, and I am gluing it down flush to the center of the layout. Somehow in the process of inking this, I got a little bit of ink on my background paper, but no worries. I'm using my mono sand eraser to just erase it. If you haven't used a sand eraser before, it's got just a little bit of sand plus eraser material, and it helps kind of scratch off just the very top surface of your paper. It works better with white paper, and it worked perfectly here. So I'm working my way from the center outward. I started with the left-hand page, so now I'm inking around the second pattern paper, and then I'll use the previous piece that I glued down to line this piece up. Just be careful that if you're using a juicy ink like Stampin' Up ink pads, those can take a little bit longer to dry. I'm using one of the older Close to My Heart ink pads here. So here's the sketch again. There are 2 main clusters and then a smaller cluster on the other side of the title. But I decided for my title, I'm gonna put it on this circle. So it's gonna sort of create one larger cluster. And so instead of having 3 distinct clusters creating a visual triangle, I'm really gonna have 2 main clusters, but I'm gonna talk about that later. So for my title, I pulled in 2 alphabet die sets that I use all the time. This is the Party alphabet. It's so fun with the big letters, and it's really fun to pair with a smaller alphabet. This is the mini alphabet that says Just and then Us, and I thought that was appropriate for these photos. I'll talk about those again later in the video, but then I'm also pairing this with the Pretty Florals dies. Now I showed a minute ago there was the Thankful Garden stamp and die set that went with this paper, and if you have that, that would work well too, but I wanted to use these dies because there are more options. I really love these sprigs right here, which by the way, the title and these blue sprigs are from one of the blue patterns in the Country Woods paper pack. So I pulled that in off screen. And then I'm also pulling in the Nature's Symphony dies for these amazing dies right here. I think those are one of my all-time favorite dies now. They're so good. And I'm going to add a little bit of added texture and dimension. This is such an easy way to add just an extra little wow factor to your sprigs or really any die cuts, but it's really easy to do this to sprigs. I recommend using a blending brush like this rather than a dauber because it just works a little bit better for these delicate pieces. But if you don't have one and you just have a dauber, that would work as well. Just be very gentle and just add a little bit of ink. And keep in mind the ink does dry back lighter than when it first goes on. So hopefully you can see here that it actually is dry now and it's lighter than when I pulled it up a moment ago. I love this layered floral, and I hadn't put them together yet. It works perfectly if you have two-tone cardstock because you can use the lighter side of the cardstock for the flower, and then for the top layer you can use the darker side of the cardstock. I actually didn't have this Melon Mambo color with me at the retreat I was at in two-tone, so I used just the regular 8.5 by 11 paper, and to get that piece on the top darker, I just inked over it. I did that off camera, but I inked over over it with the Melon Mambo ink, and so it just made it a darker tone on tone, similar to the two-tone cardstock, but I used the True Strength plus an even darker color with the inking on top. And so that worked really well too. So if you don't have the two-tone cardstock, then that's a great way to improvise. So now I'm pulling it all together. I love this part, and I decided I wanted to add a little bit of inking to these blue sprigs as well. But while I do that, let me talk about my clusters. So you saw in this sketch that the title is designed to go across the top, and then a larger cluster kind of below it and a smaller cluster to the right of it. I do pretty much have that. I've got my title just on a circle instead, and then sort of a cluster coming out from the bottom and the top, but it could sort of be seen as one large cluster as well. So we do talk often in scrapbooking about visual triangles and creating a visual triangle for balance, and while that is a great idea and a great guideline to follow to help you in your clustering, that's not always, you know, a hard and fast rule. So in this case, we've got sort of a cluster in the top left and a cluster in the top right or bottom right, and that's going to create a diagonal draw. Plus you've got all the photos in the middle, so it helps to guide your eye across the page and see all of the, you know, pictures and everything around it. So that's another way to do it, is a diagonal draw instead of a very clear visual triangle. But you'll see at the end, I do sort of add a visual triangle. I was trying to make that trio of flowers work, but it just felt too large. I wasn't liking it, so I just pulled one of the single ones, and I think that adds a nice little touch. And then I have so many little sea life and beachy type dies that I've cut over time from all the layouts I've created. And when I have leftovers, I just put them in one of these. These are the old DVD cases that the stamps used to come in. And you probably know I was repackaging my stamps, and so I have all of these DVD cases left over. So I've organized my dies in them. The dies that I use often, I have them in categories. So like this is my sort of beachy themed dies. I've got one for sprigs. I've got one for, I don't even know all the categories I have, but it's working out really well. And so you can see here, I was able to pull from die cuts that I already had cut from other projects. I love it when that all works out. All right, so a little bit more about these photos. This was our second day in Mexico when my husband and I went, and we had an excursion that day. So the photos on the left are having our coffee on our balcony. I wanted to show the view from our balcony. We were on the ground level right off the pool. And then the second photo is us getting ready to go on our excursion. We went to an underground cenote, which is really, really cool. I still have to scrapbook that, but I'm still trying to figure out how to scrapbook it. But I did just print the photos. And then we also went snorkeling with sea turtles, which was cool. I sort of conquered my fear of snorkeling. I'm a little afraid of fish. I don't like them getting too close to me, but I did it. There weren't too many fish. It was mostly sea turtles, and it was really, really cool. I did scrapbook that one. I'll link it down below if you want to see. So anyways, the photos on the right are after the excursion when we went and relaxed in one of the lounge areas, and my husband snapped a picture of us. I had just started listening to an audiobook, and then he snapped another picture, the one on the far right, where I had just conked out. I fell asleep so fast listening to my audiobook, and we were so tired from our excursion. All right, so let's talk about the layout. I decided that there was just a little bit too much white space, and I was trying to fill it. So one go-to way I do that is with splatters, and I was considering that, but I thought it might be fun to do some ink blending. And so I just ink blended a little bit on a scrap piece of paper so I could test it, and I did like it. So I used Pretty in Pink, and I liked that it was a lighter pink than what I have in the flowers in my cluster, so it wasn't quite as bold. I just wanted kind of an understated little, bit peeking out. So now I'm going at it with the blending brush, and I do recommend a blending brush for this as well. It puts on just a more even, soft amount of ink than a sponge dauber or foam tool. Those ones can create harsher lines, and it's harder to create an even feathered look. So it's better to do background inking with a blending brush, and they're very inexpensive. You can get them from Stampin' Up, but you can also get them on Amazon. I use one for every color family. The reason I titled this Just Us is because this was the first vacation in quite some time that it was just my husband and I who went on vacation without the kids. And as much as we love bringing our kids to places that we go, it's just a much needed different experience when it's just us. It was just really nice to get away and have a relaxing vacation. We've done a few without the kids that are not so relaxing. They're pretty go, 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 or maybe we're with friends, but it's all adults. But just being with the two of us was wonderful. It was the incentive trip with close to my heart, so there were lots of other friends around, but we also had plenty of time, just the two of us as well, and so it was really amazing. I did decide to add some splatters as well. I have the Wink of Stella, which is like a silver shimmery shine, and it's really, really hard to catch on video, but it creates a beautiful shimmery, glittery splatter, and I just couldn't resist. Since it's not a color, I thought, you know what, I can do the ink blending and the splatters, and they work really well together. So I'll bring it up for a closer look in just a moment, but I wanted to remind you, if you're enjoying this video, don't forget to hit that thumbs up. That really helps me here on YouTube. And if you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss any of the scrapbooking videos that I post each week. All right, it is finished. I'm back home, so let me show you things up close. I did add a few little details off screen with the gems. These are the pearlized faceted gems, and they are like my favorite right now. So I'm hoping, let me bring my light a little closer. I hope that that shimmer from the Wink of Stella is catching. It's just got such a beautiful shine, and it's always so hard to catch on video and just does not do it justice. It's gorgeous in person. Hopefully you can also see the shine of these gorgeous faceted pearls. We've got the ink blending in the background, and of course dog hair. Can't have anything without dog hair around here, but I just love how this came together. There's a little bit more dog hair. Okay, so now here on the other side, we've got the diagonal draw. So we talked about how you don't necessarily need a visual triangle. The diagonal draw can work as well to help draw your eye across the page. But I did add my journaling here in strip journaling, and that does sort of serve as a third point as well. You could also add maybe a couple of tags or little tabs up here with the date or something like that. And then also, like I mentioned, this also could sort of serve as two clusters up there. So here is the other side. Let me bring my light up close again so you can see that splatter. So if you don't have a blending brush, or maybe you don't want to do the ink blending on your paper, something else I do is often splatters, but in a color. You could pick up some ink from a re-inker or squish your ink pad onto the blocks like I was using, or some other non-porous surface like a craft mat, and pick up the color with your Wink of Stella. So then you get the sparkle and the color and do some splatters, and that will give you colored splatters. Or if you have colored shimmer brushes, Stampin' Up is coming out with some colored shimmer brushes in May, which is super exciting. So I'll probably be sharing that technique again soon. But anyways, yeah, there is a close-up, and if you'd like to see still shots, I'll have those over on Instagram, Facebook, and Pinterest, and those links are down below, along with all the supplies I use that are still available. On the screen right here is another video I think you'll enjoy, so go ahead and click that, and I'll see you over there. Bye!